Well, I just got back from the flea market and I picked up a couple of Aqualung tanks. Let me show them to you. I paid $25 each for these. They're worth about $300 a piece. Notice that scuba divers always like a bright color because they want to be seen underwater by the other guys. So they have bright royal blues and reds and this yellow. And that's good for scuba. It's not so good for me. So I typically, well, in a video coming up in a few weeks, you'll see me go to work on these. And you'll even see what's on the other side of this top. That's what it looks like. And I'll sand them down. And I like a good professional metallic gray when I paint them for my air guns. But that's coming in a couple of weeks. Let me show you what's next. Well, I'm Dr. Russ, and this is another one of Dr. Russ's air rifle adventures. And I just wanted you to realize that we don't do these one at a time. We're juggling 3 or 4 videos at one time in the air, like the one right here too. This is one that you're going to see in I think October. We usually do some sort of a Halloween show, and boy, I think we've got a Halloween show going on here. Come on around the front, let me show you what these bugs, which we plan to shoot, I think they're made out of some sort of a white plaster, so they're going to really explode. I don't know if you can see that price right there, but these things were $24 a piece, unpainted. Now here's one over here, you can see a little bit better, $24. And they were all white. So I decided, you know, just being plain white on our air gun adventure show wouldn't be good enough, so I got them painted. And you're going to see these late September, early October as we get close to Halloween. But it'll just be another thing, another show that we're working on in the next few weeks. I want to show you something here. These white things here, believe it or not, these are magnets. And they stick onto an underside of a desk, screws if you like. And then you can take any handgun, whether it be a powder gun like this one or an air gun, and it will hold up under a desk so that you can, if you're surprised or anything, you can just reach under the desk and pull it out, which is what I've done here. But these magnets can work just about anywhere. This is your 1911. It's called a V10 because it has 5 magnet-ported holes here, and they're precision, so that when they're shooting, the gun isn't lifting on me. It hangs right in on the target. A gun I like a great deal. And as you can see, it shoots some very special rounds. I don't know if you've ever held a gun when you're wet or sweaty. I have. So having a rubber grip is pretty good. Okay, that's the shows we're working on in the future. Let me show you what the video is about today. Before I get into today's video, I have to share one other future video we're working on I'm personally excited about. We just finished an 18-day trip down to Florida. You've probably seen the videos of the iguana hunt and the hog hunt, and videos inside the Donnie FL factory, Zach Matthews interview. We really made an adventure of it. But there was a problem, and the problem was that when we got back home, and you, our viewers, about 11,000 subscribers and over 1 million views around the world, were sending comments to me that said, "Oh, you were in Central Florida, why didn't you stop and see me? Oh, you were in South Florida, you didn't stop and see me. Oh, you were in the Carolinas, in the Smoky Mountains, why didn't you stop and visit me?" And it occurred to me that maybe you want to see you. And if that's true, I've started some research and some communications. We're planning to go on another iguana hunt, another hog hunt, probably in the first quarter of 2023. And before we leave, I think we're going to line up 3, 4, 5 of you that are somewhere along our path and let you know, of course, and stop by and let the video be with you. Let me see what air guns you have, what backyard you're shooting in or hunting in, and let everybody else see it too. Just get a little different viewpoint. So that's what, it's another future video we're working on. Now, let me get to today's subject because it really is going to help you. I think it's going to help you. All of you are limited, as am I even, on how much money you can spend on this hobby. What guns can you have? What scopes, if any, can you have? What backyard do you have? What hunts can you go on? And I've tried to pass on when I get questions about where did you get that scope? Where did you get that gun? I haven't made it any secret. First of all, I don't take money from sponsors, and number two, I like to buy refurbished guns, refurbished scopes. I share that information with you so that you can get as many as you possibly can afford. And then I came upon an opportunity that I just have to share with you. I came upon a firm that ships out of, I think it's Las Vegas, Utah. And they came up with some pricing, not for me, for you, that you won't believe. Now let me kind of show you what we're working on. Frequently, I get questions on what scopes do I have. Because I got to tell you, when you just get a regular scope on some of these guns, it's a rinky-dink scope. I typically don't like to buy air guns that have a scope included because I know it's going to be a rinky-dink one. So here's a Umarex. This is a pump gun. It's a 17 caliber and it shoots up to 800 feet a second. At least we're going to find out here shortly if it actually does shoot at 800 feet per second with that FX Air Guns chronograph. But here's some nice Picatinny rail, and the question is, can we put a scope on it? Now, one of my favorites, and I've shared a source called fieldsupply.com, where I can get, and you can get, refurbished CP scopes. And one of the scopes they have looks very, very much like this one right here. But this isn't a CP scope. This is a CV Life scope. And notice the power, 6x24. And that 50 is talking about this front end over here. And not only does it have a 50 millimeter front, which lets in a lot of light, and you want that, but we have a little dot right here. And this is called an AOL, which is adjustable optic front lens. And you put it there for infinity, or maybe just 75 yards, or 30 yards, or 20, or 10. Whatever you want to set it, because there is some discrepancies there, and this takes it out. Now on the back, we have the powers that are variable, and we have an adjustment. Now I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to ask Dr. Paula to hold the camera so you can see what's in it. Before I do that, I pay Field Supply about $50, $60 for this scope. By the way, notice here this device, and if you'll see, there's some green numbers on this side, and there's some red numbers on this side, and there's a battery in there that's about the size of a nickel. It's one of these type batteries right here. And this lights up the scope and the crosshairs, because the big trophy bucks, deer, raccoon, it doesn't matter what you're after, they don't come out in the middle of the day. They come out or go back right at dawn and right at dusk. So you need a well open lens, and you need a lit up scope back here. Well, the CP scopes refurbished that I've gotten from Field Supply were running around $59. CB Life sells this brand new for $59. And I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people that do these videos, they get like a 10% kickback when you buy from them. But they get 10 for you, and that's good. I said, I don't want any money, just give the customer what you can here. And so if you get this, you get a 15% discount. So that's 15% off of $59. That's about $15, not 15, about $7.50, $8 right there. And I'm going to be mounting this right here. Now I've got to mount it so that this barrel's too long. This scope is too long for a brake barrel. This company has short ones. But this is a pump on the bottom, and it will not interfere with this. Notice the difference in the heights there. I'm looking at these squares right here. You want as high a scope as possible on a lot of air guns. So make sure you get the right scope rings. $59. That's $59 minus your 15% discount. I'll show you how you get that in a minute. Here's the Hatson Factor PCP. Beautiful gun. It's regulated. It's the latest thing that Hatson's come out with. But here's the CB Life scope that I want for it. And boy, is this a dandy. It costs everybody in the world $99, but you get 15% off of that. It's about $85. Look at all the Picatinny rails here. First of all, great scope mount. Picatinny on the sides, the top, the bottom. Here's your high and low and sideways adjustments. And notice I don't have to take any caps off. You just turn it. It also has the lit up version. It also has the AOL scope on the front adjustment. And back here, it's an adjustable and goes from 4 up to 16. And it's adjustable. But I don't know how they do this. But that's not all you get for your $85. You get this red dot that's mounted. Now these things cost $39, $49. This comes with it. And this laser beam comes with it and mounts on the side. And maybe you just want a regular flashlight or something over here. But when I found out about this and that I could get it for $85, and that is my cost, by the way, you get it for $85. I think that's pretty cool. It comes with all the batteries you need and a lens cleaner, a nice box. The less costly one is here. But let me let you take a look down this scope, and then we'll go inside and let me show you how you order and get this discount. Okay, we brought this part of the sight inside the house because we just couldn't show you what the inside of that new scope looks like outside. But here is the Umarex Nxg, and this is the scope that comes with it. And I have to tell you, I just don't have any faith at all in these scopes that are thrown in free. Now maybe if you're buying an air gun that's used off of eBay or Amazon or something, you'll get the replacement scope. That's what you want. I've put a replacement scope on this gun, And as you can see, it's from CV Life. This is that one for $59 minus the 15% discount. But it's 6 by 24 by 50. It has this adjustable forward AOL on it, adjustable optics. And the one that came with it was a 4 by 15 period. They didn't even want to put the third number, which was the diameter of the forward scope. Now, this probably won't work on a brake barrel, but notice that it did work very well when we cock below the barrel. And I'm very much into scopes. Notice when we do scopes that we have some different scope rings, and the rings are just as important as the scope. Keep in mind that there are 1 inch, and that's what these are. Now this is a high mount, so we can see underneath, and that way we can see the iron sights too. But this is a high rise also, but it's a little larger. This is the high. Here's a medium over here, and it's back to the 1 inch scope. So having a variety of these scope rings is going to make a difference for you. I had to use what I had in stock. I'm not going to make this permanent, but I had to use some high lift, and you can't see underneath them. So unfortunately, these really nice glass manual sights are not going to be usable with this scope here, with these rings, I should say here. But I'll get the right rings. And one of the reasons that I like the high scope rings on air guns is this. If you saw a couple of my previous videos, you saw that when you sight in an air gun, you really get 2 sight ends for the price of 1. Well, let me explain. If this screwdriver represents the barrel and this represents the scope, if they were parallel with each other, the scope would show a point about 2 inches higher than the barrel, and you'd be shooting low all the time. That's not what happens. What happens is that this scope lifts up in the back, and it's aiming here while the gun barrel is rising. And when they meet out here, for me, it can be different for you, they're right about 35 yards. I shoot a lot of destructive critters at 35 yards, but I also shoot a lot of critters at about 65 and 70 yards. What happened? Well, as they cross here, the barrel's shooting and the pellet is still rising, but around 65, 70 yards, it starts falling back. I think that's true for most pellets, aside from velocity and energy and all that. And what happens then is that as it's shooting high, the pellet then comes back and crosses over this barrel sight perfectly. And that's why I get perfection at 35 yards and again at about 65. And it really works well when you have high lift rings on the scope. Now, let's find out if you can see what's inside this CV Life scope. Okay, now this is not the sight-in that we're looking at for today. These are actually some targets that I've been purchasing for a really good Halloween video that we have planned. And you say, well, I see 5 skulls. Well, there's actually a whole lot more skulls than 5 here. There's all kind. And we'll see what this looks like when we're done shooting in our Halloween video. Okay, we're just going to see what this sight picture looks like through this Umarex Nxg. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but hopefully it'll be easier. Give me just a second here. There we go. I think that might be the best I can show you, but you can see a great sight picture, better than even a mil dot scope, because we have dots there, lines really, to shoot a long distance out, as well as if there's any sort of wind coming. Now let's take a look and see what that more expensive video looks like, that more expensive scope looks like on the Hatson Factor. Okay, now here's that $100 CV Life scope mounted on the new Hatson Factor. Notice that we've got a laser beam here, and if you look down range here in our kitchen, you'll see the red dot appearing down below. But this scope comes not just with Picatinny rails on 3 sides, as well as a scope, as well as the laser, but you also see a red dot up here, and it's red or green. If you can see back behind here, we get all kinds of colors. Let me see if I can help with that. Okay, let's get in close here and see what you might see when you look down this barrel. You can see the red dot is on this particular gun low, and that's okay. All I want to do is get it mounted here so that it's is on the vertical axis. All adjustments really come in the horizontal axis once I get out on the range. Also, let's take a look here through that red dot. It can be red, it can be green. You have your choice. It's all an adjustment that takes place over here on the side. Along with the red dot, this is that I think $98, $99 CV Life scope. This is your adjustable Optics AOL front, and you can see that we can adjust here for absolute accuracy and clarity, if you will. This particular scope is a 4x16 power, and then that front scope is a 50 millimeter. And this is a floating barrel, so I don't need the hollowed out mounts here at all, because there's really no manual sights to see. Well, I hope that this little class kind of helped you as to what we do when we put scopes on. Probably the only thing I didn't show is when you have this bottom piece of the ring and this top piece is off, you'll see little pieces of a two-way sticky tape, and it's in the top, it's also in the bottom. And what they're doing with that is it comes with these rings usually, and it helps it stay rigid. But I find this on occasion, one scope out of 5 or 6, after I make all of the adjustments on the scope, I can't get it sighted in. So what do I need? I need something called a shim. They used to be made out of metal. They used to be available at every gun store. I've had trouble finding shims. But for example, if I put it in the bottom here, it'll lift the back of the scope. If I put it on the side of the front, it'll move the scope to your right. But where do I get the shims now? Well, shims can be a lot of money, but not where I get them. I'll go buy a McDonald's, get that big gulp cup. You can go to Arby's or anybody else's and do the same. But I take some scissors and I cut a piece out of that cup after I'm done with it. And that piece would be maybe half the size of a postage stamp. And it's got a slight curve in it. And it's plastic. And I don't know how much width is in that doggone thing, but 9 times out of 10 is just enough to move that back scope back, up, left, right. And on a real occasion, I've had to put the shim in the back ring and the front ring to really get that scope where that barrel's pointing. After all, they're both made by men. they're flawed. They have these little mistakes. But I hope that helps you, and I hope it helps you get a gun that you could sight in, put the crosshairs on that critter, and harvest him. Well, this is my office, and this is where I'm going to show you what I've been working on in an effort to help you, me too, when we order things. Take a look here on this computer. There's the home page of CV Life. And this is, as you can see here, just the scopes. But there's optics, there's sale items, there's all of the products, there's accessories, you name it. Notice here, right here on this front page, here is night vision goggles. I've seen night vision goggles. They typically start at $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $299. Boy, do I think that's a bargain. We come on down here. This is on the scope page, and here's the three-piece scope. Now there's your scope, your red dot, which can also be, I think, a green dot. Here's the laser, and there's your price of $98, and you get 15% off of that. Here's some additional scopes, some flashlights, as you go down to the bottom of this page. I just want to show you some things that I've ordered myself. No, I think it's here. So now here I am in the all products section, and as I go down, here's some bipods. If you just want the red dot, some more bipods. Here's a bore sighter, if you'd like to start off your sight ends with that. Notice, now here's a scope that's $5 cheaper right here, but it doesn't have the sunshade on it. Now I think somewhere here I'll show you the same scope, 6 by 24 by 50. And it has a sunshade, which I like. It keeps the sun's glare off of that front lens. Backpacks, slings, good slings, by the way. And we hit the next page, and we zoom down this page. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm very big on bubble levelers. Some scopes have a bubble leveler in the scope. These don't, but they sell the bubble leveler. Here it is for $10.99 minus your discount, but this is for a scope that's 30 millimeter, and they provide this very important accessory for other scopes too. We'll see them here sooner or later. There's those magnets I was talking about. Some knives. Here we go. Now here's the scope leveler, and it's for the 1 inch, but you can get 30 millimeter, 34, 35 millimeter tubes. Now those are big tubes. For years all we had here in America was 1 inch. And then Europe started showing us all these larger scopes to bring in more light. And I think I showed you on accuracy, if that gun is tilted left or right, what you're looking at is not what you're going to shoot. And if you're really into hard accuracy, that's what you want to focus on, is to a bunch of things is. And they begin with that scope being accurate. Now, let me show you this other page. Over here, I've been talking with a person named Jill Blake, And Jill Blake says, "Hi, Dr. Russ Jones. Sorry for my late reply. The discount code is Russ15. Now that's when you place your order on the website, there's a discount code, and there is no better code than this one right here, the Russ15. That means you get 15% off. I get 15 when I call in. So Jill is saying your viewers will get this discount when they buy any product. We will have a record of it. So your recent videos have been great, and I hope you can do the same in the coming videos. Best, Jill Blake." And I responded and I said, let's do this deal. I think it'll help our people. So starting today, now you have to be a subscriber, so please subscribe. And then you go onto this website called CV Life and place your order. The ones I've ordered the 2 scopes because I use them. I'm going to be ordering those bubble levelers. I ordered the magnets that'll hold a nice 45 underneath my desk here. But I'm also working on some more things. I'm working on the some air guns, believe it or not. We'll see how lucky I am with that. I felt lucky with this. Let me remind you of something. If you haven't ordered our shirts or hats, I think all of this, I think it was $5. Don't hold me to that. I'll make sure it's on the screen here when you get this video. But this included 75 deal breakers when you order your next gun or item. I have my deal breakers, and you should too. And you get this, and you get these vinyl stickers. There's actually 4 stickers on this page. And you can put it, I put it on the back of my computer screens, I put it on gun cases, I put it on guns. So consider ordering that if you will. I think you'll enjoy that. Certainly the shirts. I'm still testing and working on our lead slugs. They'll come in under the market name of Critter Control. Destructive Critter Control. I think you'll like them, boy. If you've seen some earlier videos, you've seen some slugs like you've never seen before. I'm not big on hollow points. We took hollow points and we put things in the hollow point. Just like some of the most professional powder gun bullets are. And apparently they blow things up pretty good. So watch for that information. Watch our future videos. Right behind this one, I think we have a visit to Donnie FL's facility. Back over to Zach Matthews. And that Halloween one. Next January through March, I think we're going to stop at some of your homes and let you be the star of the show. If you liked today's video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, and also think in terms about leaving a comment. I start every morning. It takes me about an hour, by the way, and I go through our videos and answer. Sometimes I'm 3, 4, 5 days behind, but I do answer, and it doesn't cost you anything. We try to share whatever information we have. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay sharp, and stay silent.